Hey, Griff Hamlin here again. Thanks so much for joining me. Now in this video, like I said, we are going to walk through that 4-note solo you saw me play in the last video. And we're going to talk about exactly how it's done note for note. Now I recommend that you watch this video all the way through one time first before you try it on your own, okay? Now first, let's listen to it one more time so you can remember what it's supposed to sound like when you're done. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now in the last video, we already covered the 4 notes and where they come from, but just to remind you, they are simply the 4 notes in this pattern of the fretboard, right? Okay, now notice that my 3rd finger on the 2nd string is at the 10th fret, which is the A, and that's the anchor. And the reason that we use that note is because that is the note that goes with the key we are in. So since we're in the key of A, that finger, that 3rd finger, is on the A, and it's on the A of the 2nd string. If we were in G, we'd be here on the G. Okay, so no matter whatever the key you're in, and the key in a blues is usually the 1st chord. Okay, so whatever, in our case, the 1st chord is an A7, so this is a blues in A. Okay, so let's go ahead and break it down. Now, if you look at the tab, you'll see that I've got it broken down into pieces by licks. You'll see there's lick 1, lick 2, lick 3, so on and so forth. So let's take a look at lick 1 real quick. At full speed, it sounds like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, so again, we're starting here at that A, at the 10th fret of the 2nd string. We hit that twice. When I hit the 8th fret, the C on the 1st string, I'm going to give it what I call the blues squeeze. I'm going to hit it and push it up just a little bit. And that's a very, very common, kind of cool bluesy element. You'll hear me sometimes say you're going to add a little sugar. And that's it's often that we just push the notes just a little bit sharp. It's not really a full half-step bend. It's just a little bit to get that sugar on it, all right? So we have that, then we go back to the A, and then we're going to take the D, the 10th fret of the 1st string, we're going to bend it up a full step. Return it, strike the D again, go back down to the C at the 8th fret, and return to the A. You're going to notice that we return to the A a lot. And then we're going to hit that last note, and we are going to kind of push this one up a half step. Okay? We'll talk more about that later, but that's getting more of a major blues sound, and there's a reason why we do that. Okay, so again we have A, C with the squeeze, A, C, D, bend up to E, return, D, C, A, and then C with a little bend up. Nice and slowly, if we count it, it goes something like this. Try and play it along with me if you want. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so hopefully that kind of makes sense. If you try to play it along with me, you should be able to at the nice slow speed. And just play it through a few times until you get the hang of it. And then we'll do the 2nd lick, all right? So that sounds something like this. 1, 2. Okay, so you can see obviously a lot of the same notes. The A, the G, the A, the G, A, we do that bend of the D at the 10th fret of the first string. Then we return it, C, play the D bent up again, play the D by itself, not bent, and then the C bent up to C sharp. Right? So nice and slow. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. All right, now lick 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, so mostly we're just bending that that 10th fret on the first string. Bend it up to the E, return, hit the D and the C, bend that 10th fret up skyward twice. Now the trick to that is you want to make it sound like the E. You don't want to just push it. You know, bends are not random things. It's really important when you do your bend that you get it to a pitch. So I recommend, you know, really practice, hit that E at 2 frets up and bend up to that note. Okay? So we have 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, Okay, and then the 4th lick. Okay, so same idea. We're going to bend this 10th fret up skyward 3 times. Then we're going to hit the C and the A, and we're going to do our little squeeze again. You might notice that I do that squeeze every time we're on an A chord. Okay, we'll talk more about that later, but that's a good technique there. So 3, 4, 1, and 3, 4, 1, 2. Now you'll probably notice that you hear me counting a lot. Counting is a big part, you know. It's one thing to know what notes to play. It's a whole nother deal to know when to play the notes, and playing them at the right time is extremely important. So I hope that, you know, when you have your guitar in your hands and you're playing along with me, that you'll, as I say the beat out loud, if you need to, print out the tab and write it down. But make sure you're aware of the beat as we go, because it is a really important part of learning how to play this. Okay, so let's continue on to the 5th lick. Okay, so what we're doing here is we're taking that 10th fret D again on the first string, and we're bending it up and back this time. We're not choking it, but we're bending it back and then pulling off to the C at the 8th fret, and then the A, and then the G. It's 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4. And then the next lick, 1. Okay, so again, we're doing that 10th fret bend. That's going to be on 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. We're going to grab that C. That C is a great choice over that D7 chord. It's the perfect note, actually, as we'll talk about later. And then the A, the G, the A, and the C. So it's in time, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4. Okay? Now lick 7, we're going to take this idea of going, we're going to play the 8th hammer on the 10th, and then the 8th fret on the first string. So we're going to be doing the G to the A on the 2nd string, 8th to 10th fret, and then we're going to grab the C on the first string at the 8th fret. So you can bar with your first finger across both of those. And this makes a nice little quicker kind of triplet idea. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and Okay, so we just do the same thing over and over again. And then on lick 8, we're going to switch the pattern and come down from the D, pull off to the C, and then grab the A. And then after you hit that A, you kind of have to roll your finger back to the D. It's a very Albert King kind of thing. He does this all the time. So we're doing 10 pulls off to 8 on the first string, grab the A at the 10th fret of the second string, and then we do it again. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and again we're doing that D bent up to E. 10th fret on the first string bent up. And if you can give it a little sugar, cool. If you can't, not the end of the world. I mean, it's a nice thing to add, but the main thing is to get to the right pitch. So if you just get to the pitch and hold it, that's already going to sound great just by itself. Okay? Continuing on, it gets pretty easy now, actually. We're going to have lick 9. 1, 2. So you notice we're pretty much just walking down. We're going to start with the D bent up, and then we're going to hit the D again and again, and then the C at the 8th fret, and then we're just going to walk down the pattern. 10th fret, 8th fret on the first string, 10th fret, 8th fret on the second string. What makes this cool is the rhythm. Check out the rhythm. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. That first little bit, 1, 2. I hope you can kind of hear a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and a 3 and 4 and a 1. That's one of those really cool rhythmic elements. Rhythmic elements are a big part of really making your solo sound good. And you know, when we have obviously a limited number of notes, but notice that we can make a ton of music out of it. And a lot of the way that we do that is by altering the rhythm as much or more than we're altering the notes. Okay, so let's continue on. We have basically the same idea again. So we're doing a quick little grace note. You're gonna hit the C at the 8th fret, and then instantly hammer on to the 10th fret at the D, grab the C, go down to the A, and then a little G back to A there. And then, like we do on a lot of the times when we return to the A chord, hit the A and do the C squeeze. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and the last lick, 1. So more of the same. A, C, bend the D up, return it, C, A. All right, so now you've seen exactly how to play a really great 24-bar solo using just that little 4-note solo pattern. And like I said in the last video, you can find many examples of this pattern being used by all the greats. Stevie Ray Vaughan, B.B. King, Freddie King, Buddy Guy, Albert King, like we talked about, Eric Clapton, and on and on and on and on. So make sure that you download the jam track and the tab for this solo and really try it for yourself. I have thousands of students all around the world that have gone through this exact same lesson that you just went through. Many of them have said it was the best blues soloing lesson they ever had. So I hope you've enjoyed this lesson as much as I've enjoyed making it for you, and I'll be in touch soon with more to help you on your journey to becoming a better blues guitar player. So take care, and I'll talk to you soon.